Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. All of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales in soggy Southern California in the armpit of the San Gabriel Valley. That guy out there is
Rick Levy in southern Suggy, California. Sorry, we're on the
we're two-thirds
third expression of a
third
line
expression
here.
of a high-end mezcal, right? This one, if you've been watching the reviews, this is called La Tierra de Acre, not La Tierra de Acre, because hey, look, but it's Green Acre. Anyway, this is the Tepeztate expression. Not sure you can see that on my camera. We've been really impressed with the whole line so far, both expressions. This is this color is green. I like their elegance and simplicity on their labeling. They got the peacock on the inside of the label, which is kind of cool. I guess that's their logo, or their spirit animal. You know, the symbolic spirit animal. This one's at 45 ABV. We broke the seal off of my bottle just off camera, and I'm going to pour mine in another Stasso Jarrito for mezcal. So
As will I.
And I think Rick told me off camera he's a big Tepeztate kind of guy. So
I will try a Tepeztate whenever I can. They're fantastic. They're like the granddaddy of agaves. That's like 25 to 30 years to maturity.
Yeah, something crazy like that, right?
You gotta respect
the Tepeztate. Actually, you know, but it's not just Tepeztate. I think what's the other one that the one that looks like a huge log, it escapes me. They call it largo.
Oh,
call it largo. Arroqueño. Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah. Those end up tasting so woody to me. And
yeah, but I
know some people are really into that. It's not my jam.
Yeah, I see. I like it because it reminds me of a good raicilla is that way too. You know, Alice and I did some raicillas that were just outstanding. They were phenomenal.
I like what's going on with the legs and tears on this one.
Yeah, me too. They're not taking their time. They're showing up right away.
They're not bashful.
No. As the rain pelts my ceiling. Not sure you can hear that, but it doesn't matter. We need the rain. Beautiful legs and tears. I got to say, I'm looking forward to the mouthfeel. The Tobola had definitely much more legs and tears and a great mouthfeel, very savory as we found. This Tepeztate, let's see what we got. Oh, wow, what a nose on that one. Holy cow. A little bit more alcohol on this one too. I mean, that you can perceive, and only on the sides. It's interesting because none of these I'm getting the alcohol down in the center of the glass. It's always on one side or the other for me.
I don't know. I wouldn't trust the sides of my nose. I have a deviated septum, so one's gonna work better than the other.
Those are back in when, you know, he suffered that injury back in his boxing days, you know, in college. So
no, I believe I was in 4th or 5th grade, and I was at my elementary school on our paved playground, and my best friend came running up behind me and jumped on my back, and I face planted on the pavement.
Wow.
Got the nose, got the choppers.
Wow. And he's been your friend ever since.
He has. We reconnected recently.
Did you jump him on without him knowing it? And like, you know,
Nah.
Did you push him off? Did you push him into the dirt like you wanted? Did you get revenge?
No, he was with the woman who became his fiance and now wife, I would imagine.
So you pushed her instead.
No.
I'm
Both
kidding.
lovely people.
I'm kidding. Wow, this has got more depth. Now, see, you know, what was it? The notes before on one of the plants is notes of chocolate and tobacco. If
Yeah.
this was got a little bit more of that cocoa kind of thing going on, only like a sweet cocoa, not a dark chocolate kind of thing for me. And
Yeah.
that's just, like a powdered chocolate.
Hmm. I'll look for that. I've been picking up the citrus notes.
See, I'm still getting plant depth as well. And again, these are artisanal mezcals, so they're all going to be fermented with fibers. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit more of the uh, plant brightness, but there's still a lot more depth to it.
I'm exploring that brightness and trying to see if I'm getting any of the mint that we got in what was it, the Espadine?
The
We found a little
Espadine.
mint.
Yeah, I didn't get any after the Espadines. I mean, the Tobola was pretty savory as it opened up and sweeter on the mouthfeel.
Yeah, no, this brightness is more like maybe into lemon or something.
Oh, I think the brightness on this was like it leans toward the citrusy for me, combined with a little bit of that powdered sweet chocolate.
Powdered chocolate, huh?
Yeah, it's just maybe like I don't want to call it brown sugar. It's more like a powdered chocolate.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, with something that's been growing for, 25, 30 years, and with the terroir, it's got all this opportunity to build up these
Yeah.
really sort of interesting characteristics.
And wherever it's being fermented, it has to be open air in pine vats. So as we know, every 1,000 meters, there are microbes that affect what goes in to the final product as it ferments. So maybe he's around some cocoa plants, or a lot of tequilas. That's why when you walk through some distilleries, they'll have a lot of fruit plants and a lot of citrus plants, because that's the secret. The pollen that those things shoot out, if you have open air fermentation, all that goes into the final product. It's going to happen. It's natural. Oh yeah, and the wet cement. I'm getting wet cement on this one too.
I'm starting to pick up on the alcohol you mentioned. Just a little bit.
Still kind of a subtle nose though. That's the first whiff was intense, and then it just kind of,
yeah.
Then once it opened up, I say we go in. Do you want to dive in? Oh, did you spill some on your hands just to see?
I put some on my hand.
Oh, good man. Good man.
I think I'm getting some of that wet cement on my hand.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh. Mm. Mm.
Oh my God.
Ooh. I got like that warmth of the I could attribute it to like that powdered cocoa, like you were saying, but
Yeah.
kind of like mixed with sort of a buttery roasted agave.
Yeah. It went from like cocoa to cocoa butter.
Yeah.
And then considering you put it on your skin, you just put it on and go lay out by your pool. I mean, a little. Wow, and it's at the tail end.
Wear it out to the club.
Wear it out to yeah, I know, right? Jeez, it's got some great sunscreen. It's like natural sunscreen. This is really. It's
got this warmth to it. It's not as dry as the other expressions, the other species that we had.
It's brighter. I think the flavor profile is brighter. It still has that plant depth, but I get it more on the retronasal as opposed to on the, on the intake. And it's like all of a sudden it just brightens up. It's just like, wow,
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
this is more buttery for me. Not as dry, not as big of a pepper explosion
Yeah,
as
exactly. I
yeah,
agree. The
but
first two had more pepper on them. One was the Espadin had like a black pepper because it was really aggressive. The Tobola was more like a white pepper, and this one's got
mhm,
hardly any. It's got some spiciness, but
yeah.
very
It's got
barely
some,
perceptible.
there's alcohol on the palate, when it
Yeah.
comes up.
What about that finish? The finish is a bit longer than the other two, I think. I'm getting more of that warm fuzzy that I'm used to getting in a
Yeah,
mezcal.
yeah.
That's spectacular. That was my first pass. I want to go back in.
Yeah, I love the Tepeztate. This is a good one.
This is both. This is probably what the Tobola should have gone for. This is like Tobola cranked up because it's got the sweetness, and I'm getting the savoriness, but on the back end of the palate, not up at the front end like we did with the Tobola. The Tobola was sweet
Yeah.
right at the beginning, and then it got savory the more passes it got. This
I
one,
think
this one's a
this
half and half.
this might be activating more spots on my palate too. Like I'm
Oh
getting
yeah.
stuff, I'm getting stuff under the tongue. I'm getting stuff just, all over the gums, all over on this one.
Oh, with a lip and gum numbness, some of you have seen us do the tequilas. We'll hold it between the lip and gum. You want that lip numbness, gum numbness. That's a good sign. If you can handle that, that's what you want to look for. The nose on the wet cement comes up a little bit on the retronasal, not a lot, but I sense it more just on the nose than I do on the retronasal. Um,
I would say this is probably the sweetest one we've had so far.
yeah,
Would you
so
say?
far I agree. Which is weird. How old is this plant again? The Tepeztate has to be harvested at what is this?
25 to 30, it says.
Yikes!
So maybe it's
So this is a
probably a higher
substantial.
bricks.
Geez, 45 ABV. It is Tepeztate, and that's what the plant. That's what the plant looks like. So yeah, that's what I love about these labels. That they really,
Yeah.
even the drawing of the plant is fairly accurate. And all the information you need is right here on the back. Wild harvested Tepeztate, 25 years is the average age. Copper still, Taona, which is where you were getting that wet. I was getting the wet cement. Oh, it's Honorato Cruz again.
Yes.
Wow. So this is his he, it's interesting because when we first got into mezcal, there were a few maestro mezcaleros who were not either not versed or not used to working with different plants than what they have been familiar with over their generations. But this guy's got a lot of this Honorato Cruz has got a lot of versatility. He's a versatile kind
Yeah.
of guy. He's not
He's
afraid
doing
to.
interesting stuff.
You know what? They have a medley, a three. What they call a. I call three plants a medley. Some people don't. They call it something else. An ensemble. But that's usually only two. I call three a medley. I would love to have a medley made by this guy because I bet he could. I bet he could pull it off.
Yeah.
Because a good medley or even a good ensemble is a delight when you can get that dovetailing of the different flavors
Yeah.
in one mezcal. It's like, oh man, this is beautiful.
Yeah. No, this does not disappoint at all.
Mm. Only one pour so far. I've only had one pour of every sample, and as they open up, I got more citrus notes on the nose now, Rick. And that's why I love these glasses. It doesn't take a big pour to let it open
No,
up and
it's
evolve in
a
your glass.
it's a fantastic design.
Yeah. By the way, anybody who has not read Rick's breakdown on the Stazzo Jarrito, that is now standard. That's a standard informational PDF that's available, I think, on Tequila Aficionado, but also from
Oh,
Chisholm
that's been
Craft.
published?
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Chisholm Trail Craft Glasses, who is the proprietor of the Stazzo Jarrito, whenever somebody needs a precise breakdown of the glass, he sends them your information. It is on the website. If you haven't seen it, go find it. If you can't find it, shoot us an email. We'll send it out to you. Rick did a spectacular job.
I spent a lot of time on that, comparing the Jarrito, the Glencairn, and the Riedel, and
yeah,
I'm such a nerd that loves to go down rabbit holes that, you know, I tried to get as clinical as I could.
Don't go down the rabbit hole with Rick. You will not come back the same person. Okay. I thought, you know, because I wrote one up too. I did a write up as well, but it wasn't as in depth as Rick did. I mean, I had personally had to do some research on glassware and everything. You know, the historical part of holding vessels, especially for agave spirits, because, you know, it goes back to the Mayans and the Aztecs, where they didn't have glass, they used clay. And you even have to go back that far and find out that the handle in a porcelain cup is a Chinese invention. The stem in a glass vessel, a goblet, that is a European invention. Okay, but when the Stazzo Jarrito was invented, when it was designed, he wanted something out of glass, but still sticking to the Mayan and Aztec and Toltec and all
right.
Whatever, you know, tribe, you know, which was just clay, you know, a vessel that it would hold like this without a handle. And I didn't know that until you back engineer and you read about glassware. So I agree. Don't go down that rabbit hole with Rick. You'll come back with all this useless information. You go, does it have a handle? Yeah, you know, but you realize that the funny thing is the handle, I think the way it worked out was tea was being exported from either China or Asia into Europe. And Europe, the English were beginning to use porcelain. So they actually manufactured a cup with a handle because it was much more refined, of course, right? And so, you know, that, but it comes, it's weird. You have to back engineer the invention of the handle on a teacup. You know, it's like crazy. It's crazy. So, but that's why I love these, because, you know, certainly the larger mouth surface allows the mezcal, for instance, anything over 40 ABV will open up and bloom and give you more of what's, you know, what's being hidden in a shot glass or a veladora, you know, which is the traditional, you know, candle, wax candle holder of a mezcal glass. Now, if you're going to just enjoy your mezcal, drink it out of your shoe if you want, because it's just
right.
another layer of complexity, right? Oh man, but this is delightful. This Tepeztate really is a delight. I'm going there, man. Brand of promise.
Oh, absolutely,
right,
absolutely.
And it's got 5 stars from Rick, because this is Rick's jam.
Yeah.
And, in fact, we should go out and get you.
This will be in the Tepeztate category as well. So the rest of you mezcaleros out there will need to send us your Tepeztates to.
Yes, send
compete.
it all. It's got to be 45 ABV.
Send it to me.
Send it directly to Rick at Rick's house on Hollywood Boulevard. No, not that house. Lovely. Brand of Promise nominee. Again, surprisingly, it's the same mezcalero, which I know that they only have 2 listed in their booklet, Honorato Cruz and Jorge Burciaga. And I can't wait to get to this last expression that we got, because it's one that I've only had one of, and I don't think Rick's ever tasted one. It'll be a cenizo from Durango, which is famous for their cenizo mezcals. And
Yeah.
but I
And so
don't.
this brand comes from a resort in Cabo. And
Oh
so
yeah,
I think if you look at the map, Durango is sort of directly across that's the Sea of Cortez, right? Like, to the mainland, you hit Durango
right.
from Cabo.
Well, from Cabo.
So it's sort of it's more local to the resort, whereas these other three expressions we reviewed so far have come from Oaxaca.
Yeah, they're more inland, of course. Yeah, in fact, we should give the backstory about this. I know that the gentleman that made this happen. Look, the labels are made of recycled paper. Mezcal production waste repurposed into adobe bricks for the local community. Okay.
You're getting ahead of
Protected-
yourself. That's for the cenizo.
Actually, this says, I don't know, from the earth to the earth. I think it's all of them, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's what the booklet, the way it's laid out in the booklet.
On the website, they attribute the adobe bricks to Jorge Burciaga.
Oh, no
for
kidding.
the
Okay. All right.
cenizo.
That's not
And
not what it says in the booklet.
Honorato
Get it
Cruz
straight.
is
Get it
leaving 50% of the plants for natural pollination.
That's, first of all, that's unheard of. And oh, before we sign off, what is the price point on this one?
So you got to expect to pay more for a Tepeztate because
Exactly.
it is a granddaddy of an agave. This runs for 140.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
All day long, but
It's-
this kind of
It's
quality?
it's not a surprising price point for this fantastic of a profile in a Tepeztate.
Yeah.
I expect to pay around $100 or more for a bottle of Tepeztate.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. And the Espadin, surprisingly, the Espadin and the Tobola, well, the Tobola was a little pricey too, which is fine. If it's this kind of quality and the sustainability involved,
Yeah.
I say do it, all day long. And with the quality, you don't have to.
And I think,
To
when
distinguish
you're
your
dealing with
cocktails,
a wild harvest agave, you got to expect to pay more. The Espadin, they're doing a cultivated Espadin, and so they can provide that at a lower price point.
Yeah. But this one, and you know what? All day long, it's worth every penny. It's outstanding. It really is. Anyway, that's our take on La Tierra de Acre. That's the Tepeztate. Stick with us because we got one more that Rick and I have never had together. So we're looking
We're gonna
forward to
shift
that.
gears.
Yeah, we're gonna shift gear. We're gonna have to rinse our palate, and God knows what the hell else we're gonna do. But anyway, that's our take. I'm Mike Morales here in the soggy San Gabriel Valley of Southern California. That gentleman out there is
Rick Levy in the soggy San Pasqual Valley of Southern California.
You've been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. All of our channels and networks. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on every social platform, including Spotify, if you're listening to us on the podcast. But whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.